So, you want to do a con, a Weeaboo's Guide to WasabiCon 2023. Ladies and germs, thank you for joining me. I'm very excited that all of you guys are going to be coming to my favorite part of the year. So let's just dive right in. WasabiCon. First things first, what's the deal? Well, WasabiCon is the longest running anime con in Jacksonville, Florida, so I think that's North Florida, period. This is the first year we are doing the 3-day weekend. WasabiCon has grown exponentially. Last year, it had about 10,000 guests, and when I first started going around year 2 or year 3, this was a super tiny con at a super small hotel for like 2 days, and it is blown up since then. And this is my entire Florida experience. Much like any great anime, it's got a beginning, it's got a middle, and it's got an end. What do I need? So, first and foremost, you need your ticket and you need your photo ID. I bought like all of your fucking tickets. Let's not say that word. I bought all of your tickets. If I bought it and we're not going the same day, let me know so I can forward you like a really good copy of your picture so that way you have it on there. And the ID needs to match what's on the ticket. So if I spelled anything wrong, please let me know so I can get that fixed for you. Money. So the only thing that's mandatory to buy at the con is the ticket to get in the con. You don't have to spend any more money than that. Unless you want to do the maid cafe, well, even then, that's optional. But it is a separate ticket from your WasabiCon ticket. But there are a lot of things to buy at the con. There's art, there's merch, knickknacks, anything really anime related that you can think of. Parking also does cost. I think it might have gone up to $10, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Food. So there are food trucks at the con. They can get pretty crowded though, so my kind of best advice is to eat literally anywhere else. And it's fun because then you get to take a break from the con, take a break from the crowds, and try somewhere new. That's what I always try to do when I venture. A jacket. Please, for the love of God. Some of the rooms are freezing cold, and then when you get into the crowds of people, it can be super hot. So temperature control is a problem, so save yourself the pain, bring a jacket. So, when does the magic happen? WasabiCon officially has posted the schedule for 2023 as of like kind of the beginning of this week, end of last week. It pretty much has a very detailed list of everything that's going to go on. So it's going to have the event name, it's going to have the time, it's going to have the section of the Osborne or the room number, which is really great. I'm going to add all the links at the end, but I'm also going to give you a breakdown and kind of like an example just so you guys, for those of you guys who don't like to read, you kind of understand what's going on. So, what's there? So, there are a lot of things going on every hour, every half hour, and it's kind of very, it can be a little overwhelming to understand kind of what's there. So what I'm going to do is give you a very general idea of the kind of themes of the things that are there. So, there are panels. So, panels are like the bread and butter of any con. Your special interest. They're the weirdos like me who have a very niche special interest and think other people would want to hear about it, and they create a panel about it. So it could be a panel about a show. It could be, there's one guy that's been running like games every year. So like Anime Jeopardy, Whose Line Is It Anyway? That one's really fun. DIYs, how to build your own armor out of foam or like toilet paper rolls. Fandom content for all different sorts of things. Q&As with special guests. So cons, another thing, bread and butter, special guests, things to attract people to the con, and you get to talk to them. So voice actors, big names in like anime production, different music guests, really cool stuff. Then you have, I'm going to keep saying bread and butter for everything, exhibitor hall, artist alley. So exhibitors hall, vendors, merch, like any sort of like themed thing. Like I get all my wall scrolls there. I get my mouse pads from there. Every year I get a new every year I actually get a new lanyard, which is really fun. And then you have Artist Alley, which I have a wall of art in my library right now. So if there are characters you really like, these are local artists making the art themselves, creating the art themselves, because some of them just do things like wood burning, sculptures, like all sorts of different things. And you can get some really cool pieces of characters that you love, and some of them are just one of a kinds. Cosplay meetups. So, did you cosplay? Meet people who have the same idea. Do you really love a show? See a group bring it to life. So, every gosh, there's so many this year because there's so many days. So I personally am doing a Demon Slayer cosplay, and there is going to be a Demon Slayer cosplay meetup. Last year they had a JoJo meetup, so I went so I could see my favorite character, and I saw someone cosplay Weather Report, and I literally cried in front of them because I was just so happy to see someone like cosplay my favorite character. There's so much more going on. Noise complaint is there every single year. They do tap, like, and it's actually really good, and it's like themed, and there's a story. It's genuinely funny, so I recommend catching at least one of their shows. Concerts, so late in the day, like kind of like the last thing that happens, they have their musical guests. Last year it was like a 70s funk band, and this beautiful woman was playing the trombone and doing a bunch of moves. The lead singer had an afro, and he was just pulling some really amazing dance moves. This year they have anime rappers and a Cowboy Bebop jazz band. I personally am really looking forward to. There's a maid cafe, cute girls, cute outfits, coming up to you and just doing cute maid things. It's really cute, but it's also kind of cringe. It's a separate ticket, but I say if you haven't had the experience before and you want to go for it, do it. Everything's worth doing at least once. Most things. There's a video game hall. So you can play like all sorts of games like Mario Kart, Guitar Hero, Mortal Kombat. They do like competitions like throughout the entire con. It's really cool because you'll have people there sun up to sundown playing hard video games. Tabletop games. Candyland. Candyland last year, when we played, actually got very close to violence. Um, D&D, you can just kind of have a 3-day D&D campaign. Literally, kind of any tabletop game you can think of, they are going to have it there. And there's also non-anime things. Star Trek, Harry Potter, Marvel, Game of Thrones, Dungeons and Dragons. Did I mention Harry Potter for a certain person who's going to watch this who really likes Harry Potter? So, here is the rundown of all the special guests. There are actually a lot more than who I added here. They're mostly just like famous cosplayers that I know not everyone may know. So here are kind of like the big names that you guys might be really interested in. I don't know this guy actually, Azasus. I butchered that. We're going to pretend I didn't say that. But he is a musical guest who's going to be performing Friday night. Then you have Bo Bingsley, the voice actor of Jet Black, Cowboy Bebop. You can kind of tell when they post the schedule that there's a theme. So Cowboy Bebop, very big this year. Bear Walken from Gungrave, voice Admiral Storm from sorry, that doesn't say Storm. Stom from Star Trek continues. Detective Fitzsimmons from Halloween H20. So what is that? Halloween 20 years later, I think. Then you have Cowboy Bebop Live with the Bebop Bounty Big Band with musical guest Bo Bingsley. Can you imagine how amazing that is for them to be a cover band and then to actually be able to perform with like one of the main characters from the show? Uh, Tank from Cowboy Bebop, it's jazz, it's funky, it's kind of like futuristic, it's amazing, and you don't think it belongs in that kind of show, but it works. So I am definitely going to be attending this event. There's Clifford Chapin, My Hero, Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, Spy X Family, really big right now. Really big name in anime. I clicked that too soon. Then there's David, Matt. Okay, I don't care what his name is. I'm going to focus the ladies to the guy in the back. You know who I'm talking about. Maid Sama. And this is him. This is the English voice actor. We have to go get him. We have to go get stuff signed. Then we have Kristen McGuire. I know some of these characters, not all of them, but I know that the ones that she does do are extremely popular. We have, I'm not even going to bother to pronounce the last name, Ash. It's the voice of Ash Ketchum. Mr. Gotta Get 'Em All. This is his voice actor. Very, very cool. Stephanie Young, this is who I am here for. Not only is she Miss Nico Robin, she is also from Fullmetal Alchemist, Spy X Family, My Hero Academia, Claymore. She is a absolute queen in the world of voice acting, and I can't wait to bid on her stuff. Opening and closing. So there is a opening. Wow, that didn't work at all. There's an opening and a closing ceremony. So the opening ceremony is 4 p.m. on Friday, and then the closing ceremony is 6 p.m. on Sunday. The closing ceremony is a must because it's the owner of the con coming and sitting to you like a regular guy, you know, talking about how the con went, where we're looking at stats, projections for next year. Sometimes he gives like drops for really cool things that are going on. And there's an auction. Before the auction, there is a lost and found. The lost and found is not part of the auction. So if you lost anything, going to the closing ceremony is actually really great. But there is an auction where it changes every year, the sort of things they have available, but there are just some amazing, really cool, one of a piece finds there. Or they even have things like people, like businesses do sponsorships. So there was a tour of some news place. I don't know, I can't remember the name of it right now, but they were like, oh, normally to get 10 people in, it would cost like $3,000. You get 10 people into this news station for $300. So just really cool and like nifty things like that. And then every guest that they have, like the voice actors, have their own banner. And then at the end, they sign that banner and they sell them at the auction. I actually got one 2 years ago, and I love it. I look at it like almost every single day. It was one of the best things I ever bought. All right, so Friday, notable events. So this is kind of just a breakdown of what the schedule looks like. I just kind of went through Friday and chose all my favorite ones, things that I was kind of interested in, just so you guys kind of have an idea of how it's going to play out. So it opens at 3 p.m. Opening ceremonies start at 4, along with all the major rooms opening up. So when I say that, I mean like the exhibitors hall, the artist alley, tabletop games, video games, kind of any big staple rooms like that that aren't switching around. My panel, also happens to be at 4. It's called Maru Penguin Drum, A Quiet Masterpiece. So unfortunately, I won't be able to view the opening ceremonies, and I don't know, maybe you guys won't either because you'll be watching me at my very first panel. And then also at 4, Yu-Gi-Oh! Free play. So you literally just have guys sitting there playing with Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I absolutely love it. At 4:30, you have a Fun Time Party with Funtime Freddy and Foxy fan panel. Then at 5, Trigun cosplay meetup, Pokemon trivia. The Ocarina Girl, I don't know if you guys have seen her on TikTok, but the Ocarina Girl is doing an ocarina performance. There's a Disney cosplay meetup. Let's Talk Todoroki Q&A with the voice actor. Cowboy Bebop Live, that's that band I was talking about. They're playing Friday at 8:30, and then everything kind of closes out at 11. So you might be able to hang around until 12 because that's just kind of saying that nothing's new happening at 11. Like the vendors are closing at 11, but you might still have events going on past 11. So these are your good rules of thumb. The buddy system is very, very important, especially in a large group of people that you kind of generally want to keep together. People get lost. It's a crowd, so it's going to be very hard to kind of stick together. Also, people just have varied interests. So I may want to go to a panel about cooking in anime, which one guy has run several years, but someone else may not be interested in that. But someone else in the group might. So we might say, okay, well, 2 of us are going to do this panel. You guys are going to do whatever. Let's meet back at this time. Make sure that, everyone's good. Check in. Maybe we'll all leave to go to lunch together at some point. So I just say, buddy system, you can't go wrong. Oh, actually, I kind of covered everything and I didn't look at the slide. This is the most important slide out of all the slides I've given you. Have fun. There's no way, there's no wrong way to do a con. Yeah, there's ways that you could probably make it easier, but just do what you want. Go at your own pace, make friends, make enemies. It's the con is your oyster to have as much fun, to experience the things that you like, or maybe you don't like it at all. Maybe you just want to watch your friend freak out and fawn over the things that they like. That's fine too. Honestly, I love this con because there's something for everyone. Yes, it says anime. Not everyone has watched like a million animes, but that's fine. There's still going to be things for everyone. There's still going to be things for the introductory people. There's going to be things for the experienced people. So everything truly is just a good time. Here are your links. So I have the homepage, the schedule, guests, parking and transportation, because there is a really big parking lot that fills up very quickly, and you do have to pay to get in. And I do believe if you leave, you have to pay to get back in, which is why that buddy system, knowing where everyone is very important. So if one person has to leave, maybe not everyone has to leave. Maybe instead of taking all cars out, we only take out one or two. All right, and thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you guys there. Thank you so much for coming. I love you all very much, and bye!